In 1963, Israel's nuclear bomb had come very close. But this thing was quite disturbing for American President John F. Kennedy. He didn't want that Israel create nuclear bombs to stir it up the Arab world. Because if that happens, Arabs will get help from Russia, who is America's enemy. Kennedy has tried his best and demanded every effort to stop Israel. But then what happened, no one even had any idea, be it America, UK, or Russia. The powerful countries enough to acquire nuclear weapons countries have played with such threats, which is difficult to even guess. Somewhere secret intelligence operation or honey resort to traps. Even in this game, even close friend countries have openly ditched the other one. Today, we'll find out the story of those 10 powerful countries that are owners of this dreadful weapon today. There are a total of 195 countries in the world, and almost all of them have advanced military and high-tech weapons for their defense. But only 10 out of 195 countries have such countries who have the world's most dangerous and the most destructive weapon is the nuclear bomb. Think about it today. In a world where every country is in a race to get ahead from other country, there are only 5% countries which are capable of making this weapon. Some of them succeeded in helping each other, but most did it secretly, in a manner in which top class of espionage, deadly hostility and treachery was used extensively, including in the United States. The other 9 countries' desire to acquire nuclear weapons story is as interesting as it is. It is from the Manhattan Project of America. Let's start with the United States. So everyone knows that America was the first country to achieve atomic weapons. But do you know that Hitler's scientist executed this discovery first? Yes, in 1938, German scientists demonstrated nuclear fission for the first time. That is, by breaking atoms, a chain reaction occurs large quantities of energy through method of extraction. At that time, science world was very small, and German scientists. This explosive discovery reached Albert Einstein, who was sitting in America. He immediately informed the American president and warned him that Hitler could use this new discovery to build a bomb capable of destroying humanity. He must be stopped before it's too late. After this letter, during World War II, America launched an extreme secret project, that which is famous with the name of Manhattan Project today. In this famous project, scientists from the US, UK, and Canada included and spent a lot of money on it. Beyond measure, it was shed so that Hitler would not win the race. Well, by 1945, Germany had surrendered. Hitler was also finished. In between, news came that America's first nuclear Trinity test has been successful. America has achieved first position in obtaining most powerful weapons, the greatest sacrifice to humanity. Without further ado, the very next month, the US launched Fat Man and Little Boy attacks on Japan, which also forced Japan to surrender. But he was forced to. This would end the war. Gone. But now race began that every country wants to acquire the most powerful nuclear weapons. But America didn't want this weapon to go to anyone else. Now come the Soviet Union. That is, on the story of Russia. Surprisingly, America's only such force in World War II, a fellow country that supported them and defeated Hitler, was removed from the path. He had a bigger issue with nuclear tests, and that was none other than the Soviet Union. Yes, the Soviet Union in World War II was an ally of the United States. But in 1941, American and British scientists stopped making nuclear research papers public. The Soviets felt that this recipe is being intentionally hidden from them. The Soviet Union quietly spread his spies on America's Manhattan Project and started gathering all the information. Meanwhile, the Soviets felt they were playing games with America. And there the Americans were no less than anyone. America also served as a double agent to Soviet agents and passed on false information to them. After 1945, when the Soviet Union suspected double agents, so he perfected on stolen American designs and did not believe it. So he continued his own research. This meant that America's expectations. Way back in 1949, the Soviets had annexed completed in Kazakhstan RDS-1 tests successfully. Now America has decided to take control of this technology, as the monopoly was over, And from here on, a Cold War begins between the two. The third country to acquire nuclear weapons was the United Kingdom. But this was also a friendly country. Despite being there, he got cheated by America. In fact, the UK had done so even before the US in 1940. Under the name Tube Alloys Project and started research on nuclear weapons, he was assisted in this work by the German scientists who fled from Germany. But in World War II, due to the shortage, resources were scarce. The UK has shifted all its research to its close friend America for its Manhattan Project, not just for free. Rather, an agreement named the Quebec Agreement was signed between them. Under this agreement, both countries will share this technology with each other. But when America launched its first nuclear weapon and test it successfully, its attitude was total change, and he returned from the UK to Quebec Agreement. They broke the agreement and refused to share information. That is, straight up. This deception forced Britain that it would restart its nuclear program. So, they get started, because they have already done a lot of work and they had control over the most of the world's uranium. They completed this work very quickly. And in 1952, the UK successfully completed its nuclear test on Australia's Montebello Islands, which was named Operation Hurricane, when America saw that Russia and the UK has also acquired nuclear bombs. So he started working on something like this, which was thousands of times more powerful than a normal atom bomb. It was more dangerous. The hydrogen bomb. Yes, energy is produced by splitting atoms and a conventional atom bomb is formed, which is called fission. The method of fusion in a hydrogen bomb is creating energy by combining atoms. It is made in the same process as also happens inside the sun. In 1952, the US tested the new bomb, which power was 450 times high from the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. What happened next? In 1955, Russia, and in 1957, the UK also demonstrated the hydrogen bomb to the world and show that we are no less than anyone else. Now let's come the fourth country to get nuclear is France. Some French scientists have worked on the Manhattan Project, but after World War II, their intention was not to make bomb, but only create electricity from nuclear. Then something happened that changed France's mind. The Suez Canal, which has been Egypt's largest asset since 1956. Earlier, it was ruled by France and Britain, but Egypt's leader, Gamal Abdel Nasser, raised voice and closed the Suez Canal they hold to take charge on it. France and Britain, in collaboration with Israel, secretly made a plan and attacked Egypt. But at that time, both America and Russia were used to support the Arab countries a lot. And the reason was the oil that comes out of there. Russia threatened Britain and France if they did not back down and move away, he will use the atomic bomb. While the US imposed economic pressure on France, due to this pressure, France had to retreat, and this embarrassment forced it to make its own nuclear bomb. They forced their colonies like Niger, Gabon, and Madagascar to get uranium from there. They worked day and night to achieve this. In 1960, France established its first base in the Sahara Desert, conducted nuclear tests, and by 1968, France also developed the hydrogen bomb. Fifth, the country was China. In 1950, during the Korean War, there came a time when the Chinese military forced American troops to retreat. America couldn't stop itself and give China to threat of nuclear bomb, and then Chairman Mao understood that until they get nuclear, the world will put pressure on China. Initially, the Soviet Union was a staunch friend of China, and it was he who helped China in making nuclear bomb. But then a rift arose between the two. That time, Russia's new leader, Nikita Khrushchev's policies toward America started softening. Chairman Mao of China said that you are no more the real communists. Russia responded by calling back all his scientists and leaving China's nuclear dream unfulfilled. But China took it as a challenge and found uranium from its mountains. In 1964, China developed its first conducted a nuclear test and named it 596. This name was not less than a slap in the face to Russia, because in this, on 59 shows 1959 and the 6 shows month of June 6th, it means in June 1959, Russia left China to travel alone on this journey. The sixth country is Israel, and its story is quite interesting. Israel is the only country that has not yet neither admitted nor denied. But on a large scale, it is understood that Israel has nuclear weapons exist in long range. Perhaps it would have remained suppressed to this day if it had not this person, Mordecai Vanunu. In 1986, he was a technician at the Israel's nuclear facility, and he spoke out in front of Bartania's newspapers. All the photos of the secret documents were leaked by him. In fact, Israel had already worked on nuclear missions in a relationship with France. He wanted to make its own nuclear bomb due to the threat of Arabs. But the American President Kennedy was strongly against this. Finally, after Kennedy's assassination, the path became completely clear, and after 4 years in 1967, Israel expanded its program secretly. In 1986, when Vanunu exposed this matter, so a honey trap operation was planned and deported back to Israel, serving 18 years in prison. Despite this, even today, this person is living his life under strict restrictions. The seventh country was India, whose scientists had already begun researching nuclear weapons before partition. Initially, India intended to generate electricity only, but the China-India era of 1962, the war changed everything. The defeat in the mountains has hurt India on thinking about a nuclear bomb. Then in 1964, when China conducted its first nuclear test, it became a do or die situation for India. Then India just made the excuse of generating electricity by bringing reactors from Canada and the US. But behind the scenes, something else was going on. It continued. In 1974, the Rajasthan desert, there's a sudden explosion. It's nothing more than rather Project Smiling Buddha. There was an explosion. India said it wasn't a bomb. Rather, it was a peaceful nuclear explosion. But America and Canada were very angry on this because India has used their given technology make bombs. In the result, India was imposed severely. Restrictions, and India also flatly refused to sign on the Non-Proliferation Nuclear Treaty. That is the agreement where the country agrees the rules to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. But let's just say the story didn't end here. They tested their nuclear bomb in 1974, but it took another 20 years to give these weapons their shape. The blast affected another country across the border. Pakistan was uneasy. Now let's come to South Africa, whose story is the most unique. By 1970, they had no interest in making any nuclear bomb. But then circumstances changed as the racial discrimination. In South Africa, there were strict laws for white people. The law was separate for whites and separate for blacks. In fact, to roam in their own country, the black people must have an outpass. Because of this law, he was boycotted all over the world. On top of this, the Soviet Union increased his control in Namibia and Angola. South Africa was afraid that the Russians might do not take over our black along with the population. In this difficult time, there was a country who supported South Africa. Israel provided them with weapons, fighter jets, and shared nuclear research, and in return demanded uranium. Then in 1979, a famous incident occurred which came to be known as the Vela incident. American satellites recorded 2 very large objects flashes have also observed in the ocean near South Africa. It is believed to be a joint venture between Israel and South Africa. It was a nuclear test. According to experts, Israel used South Africa's land and gave it research in return. But in 1990, after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, South Africa was the first country to develop its own nuclear weapons have destroyed. Now it's Pakistan's turn, which is the 9th number country to acquire nuclear weapons. It started in 1971 when West Pakistan separated and became Bangladesh after the war with India. In 1974, the Smiling Buddha test of India increased curiosity in Pakistan. Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, who was a Pakistani scientist, works at a nuclear facility in Holland, which was involved in enriching uranium. He got the information, and he had brought the blueprints to Pakistan. Besides, China also helped Pakistan a lot because China wants a strong alliance against India. Initially, the US also wanted to make not much effort to stop Pakistan because, firstly, Pakistan's capabilities were underestimating the situation, and secondly, Pakistan was the US's strong ally in the war against the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. In 1998, when India conducted 5 nuclear tests. So, just a few weeks later, in the mountains of Rasko, Pakistan successfully done his underground nuclear test. But the story doesn't end here. Pakistan was accused of nuclear technology, like other countries, that it was also given to Iran, Libya, and North Korea, when the situation deteriorated significantly and when the government of Pakistan started getting directly blamed. In 2004, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan launched a TV program and took all the debris on his head in the program. He argued that this technology, he has referred to North Korea, Iran, and Libya, and he had sold it. And after this, he was placed under house arrest for years. Here the question arises as to why Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan spoke to North Korea miles away. Why was this technology given to them? To know the answer to this, we are going to the last and 10th largest country in the world of make nuclear bombs. Let's head to North Korea. The founder of the North Korea, Kim Il-sung, accepts that it is too important to have nuclear weapons are too powerful to stop old enemies like Korea and America. In 1950, the Soviet Union did great help in generating electricity with nuclear power. But later, North Korea started making demands for weapons, manufacturing from the Soviet Union and China, on which both rejected to do so, and he refused to join them. Korea secretly launched its own program. He made it, but did not get any success. In 1990, he signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty, but the effort continued. This last attempt, Pakistan also helped him a lot. Some experts believe that Pakistan had nuclear weapons, but there were no missiles that could make a faraway nuclear target like India can target even remote cities. On the other hand, North Korea has the best missiles, but not nuclear ones. It is said that he gave designs of Nodong missiles to Pakistan, and in return, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan delivered him centrifuges to blueprints of uranium enrichment. In October 2006, North Korea conducted its first test, which was too small when people started saying that maybe this stuff functioned. But in 2009, when Kim Il-sung fell ill, to show his strength, he did more than ever. The explosion was more powerful. It was so severe. It was a recorded earthquake of 5 magnitude on the Richter scale. Like this, North Korea became the world's largest maker of nukes. It became the last nation. But is it the end of this race? Was it the last horse? Probably not. Given the circumstances, it looks like Iran will be next in line. But Israel, which is in the Middle East, only nuclear power in the world, is imposing pressure from all sides to stop this. But if Iran succeeds in this, then Saudi Arabia will also not be left behind. Because Mohammed bin Salman has said many times that if Iran makes a nuclear bomb, Saudi Arabia also follows suit. It will not last. So friends, what is your opinion in it? Please must write in comment box. You guys should like and share the video a lot. I will. Thank you for your loving comments. Thank you so much. See you in the next great one video.